And we are live. Good morning, everybody. We are super excited to be doing a webinar with you today on how to host a pop-up. My name is Amanda Lucero, and I am a mentor in LuLaRoe, and my team is, hi Nancy, my team is the LuLaRoe Pride, and I've invited Marilyn today to do this pop-up with me because she's amazing at in-home pop-ups.
Good morning, everybody. Happy coffee time.
We have our coffee.
Yeah, cheers.
Marilyn,
cheers to.
Marilyn, introduce yourself.
My name is Marilyn Tygeson, and obviously I'm under Amanda. I've been with LuLaRoe since December of 2014. And you know, what else can I say? But I love it. I feel good in the clothes. I love sharing it with people. For those of you that don't know me, I also work for Weight Watchers, and it's a fabulous combination of the two businesses, because nothing makes me feel better than to make my Weight Watcher members feel good about themselves. And they do every time they buy something from me.
Yeah, that's amazing. All right, we're getting that you only see static. Can somebody else tell us if they can actually see our picture? Anyone? We see ourselves.
Yeah, we're not staticky, unless that's what we look like on a Wednesday morning.
Nancy or Misty, can you hear us? Okay, well this is going to be recorded, and then we will put the we'll put the link to the recording on the team page, and then you can also see it on my YouTube channel. So we're going to keep going. Hopefully you can still hear us. All right? Oh, there we go. Yes. All right. So, the first thing that we're going to talk about is hostess prep, and that is really important because your hostess is your key to getting the customers and her friends to buy things. So how do you do your hostess prep, Marilyn?
What I do is, first of all, I send a hostess letter to them, and I ask them if they have any questions about it. After that, I am constantly posting pictures on the event that I've created for them. A lot of times they want to create their own event, and I'm like, okay, go for it, as long as I've got a link to it, and then I can post pictures. And one of the things that I do is I make sure that I know the audience that I'm going to be selling to. You know, if they're bigger women, if they're younger women, if they're older women. Not that that really makes a difference, but it does for me, because then I know who I'm talking to when I get there.
And you know what to bring, and you know what kind of areas to take people to.
Absolutely.
Yeah. One of the things that I've been doing lately is a video of myself getting the hostess excited, because sometimes they don't want to read the long letter. I still send the long letter because sometimes people do, but I just do a live video talking to them about what to do for their party and how to get their people excited. You really want to encourage your hostess to wear LuLaRoe. If she doesn't have LuLaRoe, go ahead and give her some, and she can put that towards her earnings at her party, or if she wants to purchase them. But if people see her wearing LuLaRoe, and when she's out, like at church or at the store or at her friend's house, they're going to say, oh, that's so cute. People stop and tell me, like, your dress is so cute, that outfit's so cute, all the time. If I'm a hostess wearing LuLaRoe and they say that to me, I could say, oh, I'm having a party, you should totally come. And then they can give them the details on how to come to the party. They should also be making phone calls, texts. They should be messaging their friends. And even for online parties, you really want to encourage them to interact in that event. Post pictures of things that they're wearing, post pictures of themselves wearing LuLaRoe, post pictures that they can see on Instagram or other social media, where they can take a screenshot of the picture and post it and show people how to wear LuLaRoe, or look how cute this is. They kind of also need to give their guests a kind of like this print is cute, but you might not be able to get it, just so that they're not like, well, why doesn't this come in my size when they get there? Just to give them kind of a briefing of LuLaRoe. And in my hostess letter at the top, we kind of talk about that, about how many prints they're made and how unique it is, and there's something for everybody, even if you see a print and it's not in your size. And we'll talk about those struggles later too.
And I agree with Amanda, because a lot of people, even though you talk about it, they still don't get it as
Mhm.
far as how many prints there are. They always think that they can order it or where's the catalog.
Mhm.
And one of the things that I do, and I've done this from day one, it was scary at first because it was just scary, but I give my hostesses a free pair of leggings just for hosting a party,
Mhm.
whether it is an in-home party, an online party, and it just makes them feel good, and sometimes that motivates them to tell their friends, oh my gosh, look what I'm getting.
Mhm.
Even if I don't sell anything, I'm still getting something for hosting this
Right.
party.
Mhm. Yeah, and because they, even if they don't have a ton of people come to their party, they do. When you prepare them and educate them, they
Right.
do work for you a little bit. So
They do, and a lot of times I've only had 3 people show up for a party,
Mhm.
and the hostess is feeling terrible and apologizing, but the truth is, what I tell them, if one person shows, then it's a success.
Yeah. And for me, those parties are always a learning experience.
Mhm.
So even if I'm like, ugh, I only sold whatever, 5 pieces, it's a learning experience for me. And then I can take that time to really get to know those 3 individuals
Absolutely.
and make that connection with them. So Marilyn is awesome about wearing what she wants to sell. And I want her to tell you some stories about how she walks into parties wearing things she wants to sell.
Well, I'm sure a lot of you have already done this, but I never leave the house without at least 1 or 2 pieces of LuLaRoe on.
Mhm.
And sometimes I actually wear things with the tag still on it. I pull it off the rack. And as a Weight Watcher employee, when I go to my meetings and I have the tag on it, I will usually carry, I was just telling Amanda this, I carry either the dress that I'm wearing or extra leggings in my car with me at all times. And honest to goodness, it never fails. But by the end of the meeting, I have to run out to my car, change
Mhm.
clothes, and they usually buy what's on me, because a lot of people can't, or they don't understand how you can put an outfit together, and then they see me in it and they're like, oh my gosh, you look so cute,
Mhm.
I want that same outfit. And so I just bring something else for me to change into in the car. And I have many times in a parking lot sold leggings, I've sold a couple dresses, I've sold tops. I do it going to stores, and the thing about it is, even if I don't sell it, it never fails. 2 to 3 people walk up to me and say, oh, I just wanted to tell you that tag is still hanging. And then I turn around and hand them my card and say, oh, I sell LuLaRoe.
Right.
Thank you for noticing.
Haven't you a lot of times gone to a party, set up for a party, and then put on something new?
Absolutely. I will change outfits in the middle of a party.
Mhm.
And I try really hard. On occasion, I'll wear leggings to a party if I know that's kind of the crowd that I'm going to be with. But the majority of the time, I'll wear a Cassie or a Nicole, or now the Carly, which is so popular.
Mhm.
And I will either add, a Monroe, a Lindsay, the Joy vest to it, or I'll take my Carly off and I'll put something else on. And then somebody will grab it and say, oh my gosh, is this for sale? And I'll be like, absolutely.
Right. And something that Marilyn touched on is you never go to a party just wearing one thing.
Mhm.
If you're wearing a Nicole, put on a Lindsay, put on a Joy, or even put a Cassie or a Perfect over it and tie it in a knot. You never want to go to a party with just one thing on. And wear what you need to sell. If you have 1 or 2 Carlys left, do not wear a Carly to the party, because you want to wear something else that when people walk in, they think, oh, that outfit is so cute, direct me to wear that stuff. That happened to me just the other night. I was wearing a classic tee with a Madison tied in a knot. Somebody came down into the basement and they said, where's that skirt? I want that skirt because that outfit is so cute. Where is that classic tee? Once she picked out the skirt she wanted. And then you direct them to where they are, and they mix and match. LuLaRoe's perfect with mixing and matching the colors so that everything kind of meshes together.
Another suggestion, and because I saw the picture of Amanda in her adorable outfit, I try and always do stripes and flowers,
Mhm.
or I try to mix it up, because a lot of people don't think that that's something
Right.
that they can do, but when they see it on you, it gives them the encouragement to at least try it on.
Right. When I first started LuLaRoe, I only wanted everything in black, and it's kind of funny that I'm only wearing black right now. But it makes you step outside of your box.
Yep.
And yes, we do have those blacks, but we also have some amazing prints that makes people step outside of their box. And like me, when I first started LuLaRoe, thinking, oh, I would never wear that, and now my closet's full of prints and everything else. So we want to move on to how we set up. One thing that I do before I go to somebody's house is I ask them to take a picture of where I'm going to set up, so I know what racks I know how much I'm going to be able to set up, because I've gone to places and people are walking around like this because I have a double rack and it's large. Then I can't take a double rack if their living room is too small. I take my things in totes, but we also have these amazing bags now. You can get these from Luro Promo, or you can go to IKEA, but they're perfect. You just slip. Can you guys see? Yeah. You slip your stuff underneath. And I would obviously do more in here. And then you zip it up and you get a bunch of these, and then you just go there, you set up your racks, and you're ready to go. Or you can get the other ones that are just open like this, and Marilyn uses these as well, and she'll talk about that in just a minute. But you can get these open like this. My friend Erin does this amazing like whip, and then she puts it in, and we can show you that because I'm not a pro at it like Erin. We can show it to you later, but figure out a way to get it as small as you can, and then just stuff as many in there as you can. I also use bins. Marilyn uses, go ahead, Marilyn.
I do laundry baskets. I have tried many different things, but for me, the handles on the laundry baskets are easy for me to haul in and out. So I've got laundry baskets, enough that will fit in my car. And then the other thing I do is I use the promo bags also. And it is amazing how much stuff that you can stuff into those. And then I just stuff in my car the promo bags wherever I can fit a promo bag.
Right in between your things.
Yep.
A good thing about the laundry baskets, and for me the tubs, don't leave the lids on, because that creates more space. You can stack them up if you have a smaller car. If you're doing it in the back seat of your car, you can stack up a ton of those boxes. Just make sure that the bottom isn't dirty. Either put like a towel or something to separate the two so that your clothing doesn't get dirty. You have a great thing for your leggings.
Oh, for my leggings, I've got, and it's a discontinued product with 31, but I know that every consultant out there still has them. It almost reminds me, I wish I would have brought one with, it reminds me of an under the bed container, but not with a solid top on it. It actually zips. I can fit 50 to 60 pair of leggings in there, and I just fold them up. And what I do is I have one of every pair of leggings that I have, and I've got 3 bins, 2 for prints and 1 for solid in one size, and then same thing, 2 for prints and 1 for solid in the tall and curvy. And they smash down. They're awesome. All I have to do is unzip them, flip the top over. I put my sign in there so people know what sizes they are. And I always carry duplicate leggings that I have, but I never bring those into the house because I want to have them feel a sense of urgency. Especially, you know, everybody goes for the black leggings when you first get to a party. I only bring 2 pair in with me. And then as the afternoon or evening goes on, I may sneak out to the car and say, oh my gosh, look what I found. I've got an extra pair.
Yeah. I just want to pause really quick. If you have any questions, there's the chat on the right, and we can answer them as we go. We may not get to them right away, but we'll answer them as we go. Back to what I do with my tubs, I color coordinated them. I had purples for dresses, greens for shirts, and then clears for like leggings and things like that. So that when I brought the stuff in, I knew what was in there, or you can label it on the side. Anything else about that?
No, that's why I use the laundry baskets, because I can always see what's in there.
Yeah, you put leggings next to tops.
Oh, yes, I do. So when I'm setting up at a party, I will always try, and I do carry a smaller table with me, because what I have found is that when leggings are at eye level or waist level, it's easier so people don't have to bend over. A lot of people don't always have couches, and if they have couches, but people want to sit down. So I try not to take up that space if I don't have to. But I usually try and set up all of my tops. I've got all my tops on one rack, and I usually set that up right by my leggings. Okay,
so I'm going to go to that because I disagree with the sitting down thing. Okay. Christy from Canada, the first convention that I went to in 2014, she talked about throw stuff on the couches so nobody's sitting down. They're up, they're looking at stuff, they're shopping. You don't want them to be comfortable. You want them to be looking at your stuff. When they're sitting down, they're not shopping.
Okay, and I just have to add in, this is a silly story, but One time I took all my leggings and I threw them all over the place, and a lady grabbed a pair of leggings and she went into, because I kept saying they were magic pants. And she goes, I'll never fit into a one size. I said, just go try them on. She came out and she goes, sorry, you don't know what you're talking about. I can't even get my foot in there. She put on a pair of small, medium kid leggings. And believe me, it didn't work for her. But anyway.
That's so funny. Yeah, but I when I had my bins, when my maxis and stuff were in bins, I would put it on the couches so nobody could sit down. And that also
that's a great idea.
Creates space for people to walk around if you can't do your racks. Okay, so what do you do to get guests to get there? I do an early. I like to get people there on time. Well, first, go ahead and tell, how do you get your guests to come on your event?
You know, on my event, I'm constantly posting pictures under the event. I ask them if they have any questions, if there's any prints that they've seen out there, or what are their favorite colors. It's not even so much that I ask if they've seen a print, because obviously just because they've seen it doesn't mean I carry it. But I do ask, what are your favorite colors? And then I sometimes I'll send pictures. Oh my gosh, I've got, 4 tops that are in that color frame. Same thing with leggings. I talk about sizing. And, one of the big things I always tell them is sometimes the ugliest print is the cutest print on. And so, then they come in knowing, okay, maybe that's not something that I'd try on, but I'll give it a shot. Amanda does a great thing where she does, well, you tell them.
Well, I do the early bird special because I really I'm huge on time management so that I can come home and be with my kids. So I do an early bird special. If they get there, but within the first half hour of the party starting, their name gets to be put into a virtual hat, and then they get a certain amount of money off, $2, $3, $5 off. And you can do that at your home parties. But sometimes people will get there, they'll shop and they'll leave before I even do the virtual hat giveaway. So that just gets people there, gets them excited, gets them shopping, because it's a real bummer when the party ends at 7:30 and somebody walks in at 7:25, because that they either you're going to be like pushing them to try stuff on or buy something, or you're going to be there for a long time. And that's another thing to enter into your hostess prep letter, and we can do a whole nother webinar on that, but enter in like, hey, I like to leave by 8 so that I can put my kids to bed, or whatever it is, enter that into your hostess letter. So once you're set up and your guests are arriving, wait, really quick, let's talk about what we do for the hostess. What we both do, right? You do it too? We both come with stuff we think that the hostess would like. And we keep that separate from the other inventory so that while we're setting up, we can say, oh, I really think you would like this. And that goes into with your conversation at the beginning when you're doing your hostess prep. What are the styles you like? What are the colors you like? Do you know what your sizes are? And you just kind of give them some options. If they're not wearing LuLaRoe when you get there, hey, put this on. But get them excited, because you want them to really earn their free clothes and want to help their friends find LuLaRoe so that they can earn as many hostess rewards as they can.
And the other thing that I do is that a lot of times the hostesses offer to help me. And to be honest with you, I have a setup, and I'm kind of that organized girl that I like to keep my setup. So while I'm setting up, I tell them, shop my inventory, pick out the pieces that you love. Let's make a pile for you. Doesn't mean you have to keep them, but if you love this print and you love this style, that means your friends are going to like it too.
Right. And then they're not sad at the end of the night when they can't get the thing that they really wanted. So when when the guests are starting to arrive, we want to talk to you about what we say to them. Marilyn doesn't really do a whole lot of talking.
I don't. I usually say, this is not one of those, parties that I'm going to sit down and tell you, but I do walk around, and, at first, a lot of times I just gravitate to the kitchen and they just sit and talk to the hostess. So I tell the hostess, come on out by where the clothes are, at least if you're talking there. And then as they start touching and looking, I do say, have you ever been to a LuLaRoe party before? Have you ever worn this? Have you ever been introduced to it? And I start talking about it that way. That's what I do. And
if your hostess is already trying stuff on, that's going to encourage her friends to do the same. One of the things that I like to tell my hostess is where everything is, so that if her friends are asking, she can help direct them, like if I'm with one of the customers trying to find the size or whatever. I do try to print off the things that I carry, and this is old because I've been doing stuff just in my basement, but I try to go through the stuff if they're new to LuLaRoe. If they're not new to LuLaRoe, they can I just say, oh, Randy's are there, da, 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 whatever. But if they're new to LuLaRoe, I kind of go through all the skirts, I go through the dresses, the tops, and what I have for kids stuff. And this just gives them an idea, and I kind of barf LuLaRoe all over them. And then I say, okay, now go shop.
And one of the things that I do also is that as the friends start walking into the party, I try and read them, because I've been at parties that I'm in their face. Right. You know, I can talk to a wall, and so I'm talking to them, and I can tell that they want me to back off. And so I really try hard to read the people that are at the party. You know, I'll ask the hostess, you know, has she invited people? You know, are these friends? Are they mothers? Who are they?
Right.
And so again, I read them. If I need to back off a little bit, I do. I stand, I listen to some of the conversations, and then I may jump in that way.
Yeah. Shoot, I had something I wanted to say.
I'm sorry.
Shoot. What was I gonna say? I think it was about reading. Oh yes, about reading. That will come with time, because when you're first doing these pop-ups, you're so nervous and, you know, all this stuff, but all that stuff will come with time. And like I said, those 3-piece parties, those are great because you can really learn from your experience, and you can step outside of your box, because there's not that many people who are going to think, oh, she's weird. But just do it, you know, make it become a part of your language when you're there. Learn the pieces. Oh, the perfect tee. It fits about 1 to 2 sizes bigger, and it has this open up, and you know, the classic tee has the high-low, and the Irma it's the tunic, short in front, long in back. Like, learn all those words and talk about the pieces with your people as they're shopping, and upselling too.
I also carry with me, I have a little bag that I carry. I carry ponytail holders with me. And so I show them different ways on how you can style the pieces. Right. I carry belts with me. I show them how to knot it. One other thing that I do for a hostess, when Amanda was just talking about, you know, 3 people coming to the party, sometimes the people, you know, the hostess is really sad that, you know, 15 or 20 of her friends said they were coming, and then nobody shows up, because stuff happens. But I will offer, if she wants to purchase anything, I will offer her, you know, some sort of a discount. And you know what, 9 times out of 10, she's so happy that I've done that she will for sure keep buying from me. She will add friends to the group. She will tell me about a friend of hers. You know, and I've gotten, you know, more customers that way, and I've gotten more parties.
Something that somebody said on our team page recently was, when there's downtime, just start talking to people about their lives and getting to know them. And they were using it as like a marketing plea, but I used to do it. I mean, remember when we first met? I just did it because I was nervous. And you really, you know, it's making you not be like, oh, will you buy my stuff? Like, oh, how are you? You know, what do you do? And I remember she loved the camo. That was when we had the camo and Julia. And we really got to know each other, and now we're friends, you know? And so that's going to happen, and you're going to have, your hostesses are going to have friends who are going to host parties, and then you're going to get to know them, and maybe eventually they'll become a consultant, or they're just going to be a lifelong customer of yours. But making those connections is really key, especially at these in-home pop-ups, because you're interacting, and that's what LuLaRoe is all about. So now we're going to talk about struggles of selling. So say you have a party that's a dud. Nobody's trying anything on. What do you do? What do you do, Marilyn?
Well, to know me is to love me. So I act goofy, and I just try things on, and I don't beg them, obviously, but I'm constantly pulling things off the rack. Just touch this. That's all I want you to do, is touch it. And if you don't want to try it on, a lot of people walk into these parties, they've heard about LuLaRoe, if you know, they never tried it on before, and they're not really sure that this stuff is going to work for them. But if you can get them to touch it, if you can get your hostess, I'm constantly, and I'm sure the most of you do the same thing. I've gone up to people and say, just feel me, touch me. And I know it's probably creepy to them, but the truth is, once they feel my leggings, once they feel the softness of some of the clothes that they wear, you know, it just sells them and it makes them, I really try hard to make this personal connection like Amanda was saying. And if I make them feel comfortable, then maybe I have a shot of them, you know, selling.
Yeah.
I am not going to force anybody to buy anything. And I've said that to them several times. If you're not comfortable in it, don't buy it.
Right.
But I promise you, you're going to be addicted. One thing and you will be calling me.
Yeah. Back to that touchy-feely thing. A lot of times during the winter, we have all these dresses and people will say, oh, you don't wear dresses in the winter. No, yeah, you do. If I'm wearing a Nana to a party, I have leggings underneath.
Right.
See, I'm really warm, and show them how that they can wear it during the different seasons. Yeah, definitely.
I will just tell you that the first couple times I met Amanda, she would have on the flowered or striped top with a flowered or striped bottom and leggings and then little booties. And oh my gosh, I wanted to be her. I still do, but I wanted to be her because her outfits were so cute.
Right.
And, you know, I was that girl that was black, gray, denim only. Yeah. And so, you know, I started putting outfits together because I saw how Amanda was doing it. And I get so many compliments. And
here I am wearing
hey, I also am a school teacher, and I had a 17-year-old boy say, for an old lady, you are so cool.
You should look at her Instagram. She's awesome. Marilyn.
Woohoo! Okay, anyway, sorry.
All right, so that goes to upselling. When you see somebody come out of the, you know, that mirror placements. Never place your mirrors if you take mirrors with you, or if your hostess has one. Never place them inside the changing room. Always place them out so that the her friend will have to come out and people will have to look at her. Oh, and then selling struggles too. Do a try-on game, especially if they're new to LuLaRoe. You have to try on 3 skirts. Tops and leggings are going to sell for days. 3 skirts, three dresses, or 2, or whatever it is you have in your inventory. Don't do it every piece that you have in your inventory. Make it 1 or 2 less. But I always did 3 shirts, 3 skirts, or 3 dresses, 3 skirts. And when they try it on, they'll be like, oh, I would have never tried this on if it wasn't for this try-on game. And now I love it. Lola's. I had Lola's in my inventory. They weren't selling. Then they started flying off the racks because once people put them on and see how they felt, and then they put a shirt on top of it and tied it, they loved it. And that's upselling too. Also, and I give them a discount if they do that, but it's only for new to LuLaRoe people.
And you know, one other thing, we always have to remember, so obviously we're in Iowa right now, and I have a lot of spring and flowered prints in my inventory. But guess what? There are snowbirds here. People are leaving for the winter. They're going on vacations. They're going on cruises. You know what? You may not have to, you don't have to always take every single spring or summer print with you. But if you take 1 or 2 in each size, you know, show them how they can, like a maxi skirt, show them how they can wear it as a strapless dress, show them how they can wear it as a bathing suit cover up. So even though it's a spring print and, you know, there's 10 feet of snow on the ground, you're going to usually get somebody that really wants something like that.
Sarah asked, what kind of discount do I give? I usually give $5 off for their total. So $5 off the total if they tried on the 6 different things. And usually 9 times out of 10, they buy 3 things because they've tried on all those things, and then they know that they'll have buyer's remorse if they don't buy all of the things that they like.
Yes.
Yeah. So upselling, when somebody comes out in a Julia and they're like, oh, I don't know, my tummy, it's just showing so much. What do?
You pull out a Joy, you pull out a Monroe, you pull out a Lindsay.
You pull out a classic.
You pull out, yes, absolutely.
Or you pull out, I've done Irma's over Julia's. You get something to show them how they can wear it. And like I said, our color palettes all kind of mix and match. So see how they can add another piece.
And the other thing too is that, you know, if you go into it and somebody thinks that they know what their size is, I try and tell them, don't even look at the sizes. Find the prints that you love and try that on, because sometimes, you know, even if it's 2 sizes bigger, it is so cute with a belt. It is so cute, like Amanda said, with a top over it, knotted.
Or doing the little inside
thing
or the outside thing with the hair tie. Yeah, I have a print that I love that I got from another girl, and it's 2 sizes too big. And I tried it on at the party, and I'm like, I just can't go without this. And I wear it now with a little hair tie, and I always wear it like that, and it's really super cute. And it gives an added layer to LuLaRoe too when you do that. It's not just a Juliet. Oh, look, it looks like a wrap dress now because of that little tie.
And if you talk about how many things you can do with a specific style, that really interests them too, because somebody might come in and say, oh, I really don't have that. But if you show them that you can wear it in so many different ways, I think sometimes that's more appealing to a lot of the customers.
And another thing, back to size, I had a customer in here the other day, and she got 2 classic tees. One was an extra small and one was a medium. And they both looked great on her. She just liked the print, and she got I think she got the medium to go with the Jill to tie it in a little knot to the side. So so upselling is key. And you know, during the winter, always sell your leggings, because you can never have, I mean, I have a whole drawer full of leggings for the winter because you just can't have enough.
You know, one other thing, and I don't even know where this comes in, what we're talking about, but I am really big on customer service, and I'm going to bend over backwards to make my customers happy. And it's paid me back. I mean,
they keep coming
like
back.
1,000 times. But one of the things that I always stress, whether it's online, excuse me, whether it's online or at in-home party, everything is exchangeable. As long as the tags are still on it, as long as you haven't worn it. Because sometimes, and I mean, I do this, I'll go to a store and I think, oh my gosh, this looks fabulous on me. And then I get it home and it's like, oh my gosh, I'm really not thrilled with it. I am more than happy to exchange it. You know, in that case, they'll pay for shipping to ship it back to me. Sometimes I'll ship it back to them and not charge them shipping. It just depends on the person. You know, and I say this to a lot of people, and this is nothing negative. I kill them with kindness, because guess what? I treat my customers the way I hope to be treated.
Right. Well, that's the LuLaRoe culture.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Totally. One thing we want to talk about is checkout. What's the one thing you always ask somebody for when you check out?
Would you like to set up a party?
Yes. Would you like to book a party? Or would you like to earn free clothes? Next to my checkout, I always have like a host a free party. This was just down here the other day, host a free party. I do double hostess rewards if they have it at my house. You always have your calendar next to your checkout station. You have, you know, this does not show what I'm doing. Oh, see here. Okay. So here's my August. I always highlight the dates that I can possibly do a party. And then it's next to where I am. And if they say, yes, I'd like to, here, let's book it right now. And if they do it right then, like she said, give them a free pair of leggings. Don't give them there. You give it to them at their party. And that's the way you book things. And you always have cards. I always put my cards in my in my bags when people check out, especially if they've chosen a couple different items and they've had to put one back. Hey, when you want that classic tee, here's my number. Call me back. Or call me and I can get it for you. It was really cute on you, and I know you have to stay within your budget, but here, I know you're going to want it eventually.
Something else I do, and this is actually after the party happens, but I always send my hostess a thank you note, a handwritten thank you note. I designed some that I took a picture that somebody had posted, and I've got my name on it, and I send them, and I stick a, you know, something in there, just even if it's just a bag of Skittles, just something. But I thank them, and I just say, if any of your friends, you know, now that they're addicted, you know, make sure that they call me. I'm happy to help them. And I have gotten several people thanking me for the handwritten note. Yeah,
it's really sweet. That goes back to the customer service. Also, when people think, oh, yeah, maybe I'll book a party, but I'm not ready to book it, something that you can say is, well, when all of your friends see your LuLaRoe and they want some too, that's when you want to book your party.
Absolutely.
And that's why they have your card too. Anything else on checkout?
This.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No.
About parties. Anything else about parties?
Something
with the card. You could stick that in your stuff when you go with you, and then write it out in your car, and then just stick it in their mailbox.
Absolutely.
So you don't
have
forget.
to mail it. Sure. And the other thing at a party, I've made so many different cards, but I've got a card that talks about joining the LuLaRoe movement, joining my team. I give that. I also give that with every piece that somebody purchases. So I give my business card, I give that card, and I also printed out how to take care of your LuLaRoe And so I've got 3 different things that I give people. I don't say, I don't make a big deal about it. I just stick it in the bag because I know that when they get home, they're going to pull everything out and see everything.
And that's another thing when you're checking out, say wash cold, hang to dry, even though it says it on the tags, but sometimes people need to hear it. Wash cold, hang to dry, so they won't be sad. Or for other things like, for our special things like the Joys and the Lindsays, talk about how to care for those properly. One thing that we wanted, you can start asking questions if you have questions. Mandy, I'm sorry that you lost the picture. This will be posted and it will go into the LuLaRoe Pride channel on YouTube as well. But if you guys have any more questions, you can start asking. But one thing we wanted to talk about just real quick is inventory. And Marilyn touched on it about your spring stuff. I want to show you 3 pieces and I want to tell you how long I've had them. I have had this since the summer of 2014. I have had this Irma since May of 2015, and the same with this. Do I care? No, because eventually it will all sell. We're getting a lot of, sorry, Sarah. We're getting a lot of complaints like, oh, I'm sitting on this my Cassie's, or this print is not selling. This print hasn't sold yet, but I'm not worried about it because I know somebody will eventually love that. Don't worry about that. It all sells and it all makes your inventory look bigger. When you first get your inventory, yeah, you get a bunch of doubles, but start ordering 33 pieces once a week, and that's going to filter in new prints, and old prints are going to go out. I've been doing some swapping with some newer ladies lately, and I think it's hilarious because those newer prints that I swap out, they sell. I just swapped out the other day, and at my party on Monday nights, some of those things that I swapped out sold because you just never know.
It's different eyes.
Yeah.
And and I've also seen so many people complaining, to be honest, about solid leggings and they're tired of them.
No, I love them.
You know what, you guys, put them back in your inventory. Do I have 15 pair of royal blue and navy blue? But the truth is, you get that perfect couple tops in that match, and any new person is going to be, they think they're going to be more comfortable in a solid legging, so just, don't bring all of them with you to a party. Put them back on your shelf, because guess what? Eventually, maybe you're not going to be able to get solids, and then you're going to be really happy that you've got them.
And we've all been through the legging drought.
Absolutely.
You never want to be without solids, honestly. I probably have 30 solid black leggings in my inventory in the back that I just know that I have them in both sizes, because I know solid black is going to go. Every solid is going to go, even those bright yellow ones. It's shocking, but they go.
Well, and I'm just going to say this really quickly. I had a customer that purchased one of the Sunshine Project skirts, and she was so thankful, and she paid her invoice, and she said, oh my gosh, I can't believe you didn't charge me more money. Well, I charged her what I paid for it. But what I did was, because I was so thrilled that she participated in that, I stuck a pair of solid color leggings in with it, just as a little surprise for her. So even if you're not selling them, just remember those solid color leggings are something you can stick in just to get those customers wanting you as their consultant and wanting you to, wanting to come back.
Before we go, I want to talk about implementing online with your in-home parties. Something that I do is I open up my online party before the party starts, and then my hostess, I invoice her friends an hour and a half beforehand. They have to remit payment by the time the party starts, and then my hostess pulls it, bags it, and gives it. She's the deliverer, unless I have to ship it, then I do that the next day. But that way, it's getting her to have more clothes. And there's always somebody who can't come to a party. Or during a party, she can, a lot of times, she'll be taking pictures for people. And, oh yeah, she wants this. Can you invoice her? And then she bags it and ship it. You had a great party where you opened it up after.
I do that. I actually have done Facebook Live, and I've maybe only sold, the first time I did it, I was a little bit disappointed. I sold one Carly, and I'm like, oh my gosh. Well, I posted that video, and the next day I sold 4 or 5 more. So, don't ever think that people aren't watching every single thing you're doing.
Right. Right. Tell them about your 70-piece party.
Oh, well, my 70-piece party was crazy.
Yeah.
You know, people sometimes they just start grabbing things. You get to a party and you know, you kind of get this feeling and you get that one person that buys something and then the next thing you know, everybody's grabbing and it's just crazy. And, you know, sometimes I'll even say, you know what, ladies, if we hit this many pieces, I've done this. I will donate $30 or $40 to, you know, a favorite fundraiser or a favorite charity of yours. And, you know, and it depends on the people that you're working with. Obviously, this is somebody that I know that they've had things that were very close to their heart. But you know what? You do that kind of stuff and it really comes back.
Well, another thing too, like as the party's going, when you hit 10, you say, hey, she's getting a free piece. When you hit 20, hey, she's getting 2 free pieces. You know, keep that going so that when people are checking out, they'll be like, I want to earn a free piece. I know people who would want to come here, you know. But opening it up online is going to help your hostess earn more stuff, and it's going to help you sell more.
And sometimes what I'll do, and because I've seen Amanda do this, I've seen other people do it, so I'll be honest, I copied, and it's really worked for me. I had I'd taken a picture of all the hangers that, you know, of all the clothes that sold. And then I've got that party still open. I'll take a picture of all the hostess items, you know, that she got and say, oh my gosh, look at what she earned. And when I do that, you know, some of her friends or somebody else online will say, are you kidding me? She got that many free things. And then they have a tendency to want to book it. You know, life gets crazy. And, you know, with back to school right now, you know, you can say, you know, there's a special, there's so many ways that you can, you know, just sell your maxis in an online party. Just, you know, only pick specific pieces. Don't put your whole inventory out there because sometimes it gets a little bit overwhelming.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. But really, in-home is where you really get, you make those connections.
You make the nicest friends. You truly, truly do.
I mean, Marilyn was a customer, and look at we're friends now. But you make those connections, and that's what LuLaRoe is about. And honestly, for me, the in-home parties, as hard as they are physically sometimes, and you have to learn all the stuff. Your mouth, you know, you have to constantly drinking water because you're talking so much. But as all of that, when I'm done with a home party and I've sold 30, 40 pieces, I can sit back and relax. I don't have to ship anything. Oh, did I make sure that that was in a package? It's so nice. And I've had a good time. I've had a good time with my hostess. I've had a good time with my with her friends, and you make those connections. I have made such connections with some of my hostesses that I get invited to Christmas parties, and I've gone to Christmas parties with them, and all of her friends have been at parties or either been at the party or hosted parties, and I'm hanging out with them because I've made that connection. So I really we really both want to encourage you guys to step outside of your box and book those in-home pop-ups.
And one other thing, Amanda is really great about time management. I'll be honest, I'm not so good, but I don't have to rush home some nights. And a lot of times at the end of the party, when there's one person still shopping and the hostess now is sitting down, I'll sit down and just, you know, have a glass of water or just chat with them and figure out, you know, all the things that she's earned. And sometimes I think that they really are comfortable and happy about doing that because they know I'm a real person. I'm not just trying to push product on them.
Yeah. I'm happy you're happy, Mandy. Marilyn is a great in-home pop-up.
I love it. I actually, I've struggled with online because technology isn't my forte. I'm getting so much better at it. But the in-home parties for me is just making that connection. And I feel really fortunate to have met the people that I've met.
Yeah. And I thought for a long time, I'm just going to be honest, that I was just going to start doing online. And it's not as rewarding.
It isn't.
And I've been having in-home pop-ups here at my house. And I'm so excited after they're over because it's fun. It's fun to talk to people and to see people and that you haven't seen in a long time, you know, because your friends, your LuLaRoe friends come over.
And also, you know, Amanda's has got this awesome LuLaRoe room. I don't. My stuff is is I've taken over the living room basically. And one thing that I struggled with having people come to my house, and that's, you know, I've offered to do the in-home parties at my house if somebody else isn't. I worried so much about what the house looked like that it kind of took over my brain. And then I decided, if you're my friend or if you truly want to shop, you're not going to pay attention to, you know, the dog food on the ground or, you know, that I don't have the perfect picture on the wall. So get rid of that in your head. And truthfully, sometimes people are just happy not to have to clean their house. That come to your house because it is easier for them.
Yeah, you host in-home.
I've done in-home, and I was uncomfortable at first. But now it's, you know, it's not a giant living room. People are smashed in there, but guess what? The more smashed they are, the more fun it is sometimes.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, the in-home pop-ups is where it's at, and we really want to encourage you to do that. If you have, we're going to post this link to this YouTube video in our team page, and if you have any questions, you can ask in the comments, or you can ask in the comments on the LuRoe Pride channel there on YouTube. Thank you so much for
love you. Amanda's awesome. And you guys,
Marilyn's awesome.
Don't forget, when you're buying inventory, especially for new people, you know what? Don't feel pressured that you have to buy 100 pieces. We always say, take the money that you've earned, put it back into inventory. Try and at least order 33 pieces, you know, once a week, twice a week, whatever you can afford, because you really truly do get different patterns and new inventory. And then maybe you won't get stuck with, you know, 10 of the same pattern. Sometimes it happens, but spread it out.
And don't overthink things. Have fun. Have fun with it. Don't stress out.
Absolutely.
Just have fun. Real quick, some things to always remember is some will, some won't. So what's next? Always remember that in your mind about everything. Some will book a party, some won't. Who else will? Some will buy, some won't. Who else can buy from you? Always think about that. And yeah.
Let me throw this out there too. You know, July was crazy for me. August really has been too. I have had one in-home pop-up, July and August. I have 2 vendor events, but the truth is, I sat down, I did that 72-hour game plan, and I booked 4 parties for September. And, you know, school starts, kids are back in school, so people can breathe a sigh of relief and open up their homes again. So just hang in there.
Yeah. This is the time, you guys. This is the time to book your parties. And people's lives are going to start getting busy, but it's funny. When their lives are busy, that's when they want to have the parties. So
absolutely,
really do it, you guys. All right. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Ask your questions. Bye.